From Red Zone Weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
We have our first tornado warning of 2026. It's a tornado warning for parts of Clark County over in West Alabama. Possible tornado near Silas on Highway 84 is about to cross the Tombigbee River and come into Clark County near Coffeyville over the next few moments. This is a tornado warning, meaning we need you to take action now to protect yourself if you're in parts of Clark County. So again, a new tornado warning just coming on the board. This is going to be on the board for 15 more minutes until 11:15. It is midnight in the east. It's 9 p.m. out west, 11 p.m. on the dot here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, tracking a possible tornado coming into Coffeyville, Alabama, over in West Alabama now. And Luke, if you will put me in the box, please, because I am going to go over there and control our radar system to be able to tell you exactly who is involved in this brand new tornado warning that is on the board until 11:15. So this is going to be a quick one. And the good news is if you're in Thomasville, Grove Hill, or Jackson, this is not for you right now. You may get more warnings later, but this tornado warning is for areas in the western part of Clark County, specifically here near Alabama Highway 17 and Coffeyville. So the call to action is near Alabama Highway 17 over the next few minutes near Coffeyville, as we have a possible tornado at the Tombigbee River now, and it's pushing off to the east. This thing is racing. I'm talking racing off to the east at about 50 miles an hour. So it's not wasting any time, and it's going to be in Coffeyville, if it's not there already, in the next few moments. So if you know someone in Coffeyville, Alabama, I need you to call them right now. I realize it's late, and you may have kind of an apprehension about not wanting to wake someone up, but this is one that you need to wake them up for, as we have a possible tornado coming into Coffeyville, Alabama, which is in Clark County. This possible tornado is going to be very near the Tombigbee River, and actually there's multiple circulations potentially involved here on this line of storms. This could be one circulation, but there could be another one right down here coming into Coffeyville as well. So we're looking at two circulations that could be producing tornadoes coming into Clark County over in West Alabama. The current time is 11:02 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, joined alongside Luke McKinnish with me this evening. We're glad he's here. And we're tracking a possible tornado over in West Alabama. You're looking at the tornado warning polygon. This does not include Butler, Alabama. This does not include Gilbertown or Silas at this point. But this does include Coffeyville and areas near West Bend over in Clark County. So again, a possible tornado moving off to the east at a very rapid clip. This is going to cross Alabama Highway 17 in the next few moments, as this tornado warning continues until 11:15. Let me actually check our weather service feed. Longtime viewers know the deal around here. If I go silent for just a minute or two, just bear with me, as we are watching 400 different things here in the studio to help keep you safe. Again, tracking a possible tornado crossing the Tombigbee coming into Clark County. We'll check our line in Washington County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in place for parts of Washington County. All right, thank you for that report, Luke. I'm seeing that we've got some possible tornado damage back in Mississippi. We'll get to that. I'm really concerned that this is going to be a potentially long night in terms of the wind damage across our region. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that you're looking at right now in Washington County. And again, the reason we are here is this. This is a tornado warning for parts of Clark County, Coffeyville, and McIntyre. You need to be in a safe place now, as we have a possible tornado coming in from the west. And if you'll hand me that, please, so I can kind of work alongside you. Thank you, sir. That's great. Again, tracking this possible tornado along this very long line of thunderstorms. And let's go back to the classic reflectivity view. This is a nasty line of thunderstorms. Severe thunderstorm warning. This is a new one for Marengo County. That one's going to be on the board until 11:45 p.m. So a new severe thunderstorm warning for Marengo County, including places like Sweetwater. That one is on the board until 11:45. So let's go up there quickly. Sweetwater, also areas near Aimwell. You've also got Dixon's Mills involved in this new severe thunderstorm warning, damaging winds possible in Marengo County. But again, the reason we are here is this. It's a tornado warning, and this is in place for Clark County, specifically Coffeyville and McIntyre in the western part of the county. And for folks watching our stream, thanks for watching. If you have specific damage reports that you'd like to pass along, we are watching those in the comments. So thank you so much to everyone so far who has sent us reports. We certainly appreciate that. And just checking our feed with the Weather Service, they are saying that right now, just as we've been watching here, the circulation is crossing the river. So this is the Tom Bigby River over in West Alabama. And again, possible tornado. West Bend and Coffeyville, coming into West Bend and Coffeyville over in Clark County. And so you need to be sheltered now. In fact, Luke, tell you what, if you will, go over to the graphics, if you can, please, there on the bottom part of the screen, because I want to show our folks in Coffeyville and also McIntyre exactly what they need to be doing right now. There's our timing graphic, and tell you what, I think I have to move that forward by one. There we go. So again, we are calling everyone in Coffeyville and also McIntyre, Alabama, over in Clark County. If you can get underground, that's great. Best possible place to be, underground. If you can't, that's okay. Put on a helmet, something to protect your head. That's for adults, that's for children. We need you sheltered in McIntyre and also in Coffeyville, along with West Bend in Clark County. So again, let's go back over to our radar source, please. And this is kind of the high-res radar. You can see that this line of storms really means business. It extends from up near Morven and back down to Chatham. Let's go over to LD1. And again, this is a situation where we have one tornado warning. I see that we actually have a different tornado warning down in Mississippi, but that's out of our area. And I'll tell you about that briefly. This is going to be for parts of George County. So if you are in Loosedale, you need to be sheltered now. Loosedale, Mississippi. If you know someone over in Loosedale, Mississippi, George County, call them now and tell them that they've got a tornado warning. And that one, I believe, is until 11:30. Yes, 11:30. So a possible tornado moving into Loosedale, Mississippi. We've also got a tornado warning here in Alabama. I believe this is the only one in the state. Yes. This is the only tornado warning in the whole state of Alabama right now, and this is for western Clark County. Let me check my feed with the Weather Service to see exactly what they are seeing as well. And again, just watching this, and again, we're watching this possible tornado in Clark County. Zooming out here and showing you the entire region. This is only the beginning, unfortunately. We have this entire line of storms set to come through our region over the next several hours. As I put this in motion, you can clearly see that storms back in Mississippi have rapidly been moving towards southwest Alabama, and there's a good chance that this gets out of here a bit earlier than guidance suggested. And so that certainly would be a good thing if we can get these storms on out of here pretty quick. Tell you what, let's go back into our storm in Washington County, and tell you what, let's go to the audio only for a second while I can look at a few things off camera here. Again, for folks in Milry, Bigby, also Yarbo, areas near Frankville as well, Silver Cross. This is Alabama Highway 17. If you live there, or near there, I should say, in Washington County, Alabama, heavy storms coming through that could produce damaging straight line winds. But clearly the stronger part of this storm is up here in Clark County, very near Coffeyville at this point, Alabama Highway 17, and also West Bend, Alabama in Clark County. You are under the gun from a possible tornado now. And I can't stress enough, you need to be doing something about it now if you're in McIntyre. So be in a safe place now if you are at McIntyre, Alabama, as we continue to watch this possible tornado move off to the east. We'll have to kind of watch this because if it holds its strength, it could eventually be a problem for Grove Hill and also for Fulton. So just be aware of that. These are storms that are probably going to be, pretty persistent over the next little bit. Again, a tornado warning continues for Clark County over in West Alabama, specifically for the western part of the county. This is Alabama Highway 154, very curvy road there in Clark County, Alabama. And Alabama Highway 154 runs from Thomasville over to Coffeyville. No travel right now, regardless of where you are on Alabama Highway 154. Let's see, this is going to be a new tornado warning, all right? So a new tornado warning is coming out, and this is going to be for parts of Mobile and Washington County. I don't have that on our big board yet. So let's see exactly where this is going to be, but I do know that, okay, there it is. So this is a new tornado warning that has just come on the board, and this is in effect basically from Citronelle back over to the Mississippi line. So this is going to include areas near Leakesville, also Earlville, there in northern Mobile County, possible tornado back in Mississippi right on that main line, right there it is. That could be a tornado forming. And it's going to be moving into Alabama just like that in about 20 minutes. So this is in Mississippi now in Greene County, and we will work this one with time, but we've got about 20 minutes or so until that reaches the Alabama line. So again, just putting you on notice, in northern Mobile County, you are now under a tornado warning. This is just to the west of Citronelle. I mean, this is way out there near the lake, which is on the western side of Citronelle. We need you to be in a safe place now if you live in northwest Mobile County. This has nothing to do with the city of Mobile. So you're fine right now in the city of Mobile. This is strictly for the northwestern corner of the county, and also far southwestern Washington County involved in that new tornado warning. Let me go back up to our storm here. This is the one that's kind of more urgent at this point because this is exclusively now in Clark County, which is our coverage territory. What I'm going to do, I'll work this one when it gets a bit closer to Alabama, when it crosses the line, but we're going to focus on the one up in Clark right now because that is solely our territory. And again, possible tornado is at Alabama Highway 17 right now. So if you are near McIntyre, you need to be sheltered. You actually should have been sheltered about 10 minutes ago now in McIntyre, but if by chance you know someone at McIntyre, Alabama, please be in a safe place. You're hearing a new warning come on the board here, and this is going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning, and this is going to include the Mobile Metro. So we now have a new severe thunderstorm warning for the Mobile Metro, and I believe we're actually getting a new tornado warning as well. So a lot happening right now. We're going to bring it to you bit by bit. This is a new tornado warning for northern Clark County. So again, we'll work our Mobile storm in just a moment, but a new tornado warning is coming out for Clark County in West Alabama, and that's going to include Thomasville. So a new tornado warning for Thomasville is now coming on the board, and here's the deal. If you are in Thomasville, you now need to implement that tornado warning precaution, as we have a possible tornado very near the Tombigbee River coming into Thomasville now. So be in a safe place if you're at Thomasville, areas near Fulton, Springfield, Chilton. You need to be in a safe place as well. This also is going to include Tallahassee Springs. So be in a safe place now in northern Clark County. It looks like what happened, the storm here in Clark has kind of moved to the north. And so that means Thomasville, unfortunately, is now going to be under the gun from this possible tornado. And you got about 10 minutes or so in Thomasville. So make it happen now if you're in Thomasville. Get to a tornado safe place. Thomasville, Alabama. If you live within 5 miles of there, you get sheltered, all right? Thomasville, Alabama, Midway, Springfield. Be in a safe place. Luke, if you will, take me back over to the graphics system, because for folks in Thomasville, this is what you need to be doing right now. You need to be putting on a helmet, something to protect your head, as we have a possible tornado coming in from the west. Take a screenshot of this if you can, so you'll know what to do in the future when we have tornado warnings. This is a fantastic thing that we've developed here. And again, it's good to have this handy. Let's go back over to LD1, please, sir. And again, watching now a possible tornado come into Thomasville over the next 10 to 15 minutes. And y'all know the drill. I always say, practice what you preach. Text your folks. Call them. And that's what I'm doing right now, just to make sure. I've got some cousins in Thomasville who I just texted and let them know, hey, we got a tornado warning, and they're watching our coverage. Same for you. Text your folks. They may not ever know if it's not for you. So please, we want you to call folks and let them know, northern Clark County, this is a tornado warning for Thomasville. All right, let's go back down to our storm in Mobile County. Frankly, the line is still back in Mississippi, and so at Loosedale and Leakesville, you're under the gun right now, and Mobile, Alabama is now under a severe thunderstorm warning. So a severe thunderstorm warning for basically all of Mobile County at this point, due to the main line of storms moving in. Let's go back up to our storm here in Thomasville, because this is the one that really means business. If there's a tornado down, it's going to be right about there. So possible tornado in eastern Clark. Let me review our chat with the Weather Service quickly. All right, we're getting a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is a new warning, and let's see what that is about. All right, that's just going to be a continuation of the whole line. So this is going to include part of Monroe County as well. These storms are moving very, very quickly to the east, and we have this possible tornado coming into Thomasville right now. But again, I know this whole line is a serious situation, but we've got to focus on our storm in our territory. I promise, if you're in Mobile County, we're not ignoring you, but you've got a little bit of time until this main line of storms comes in. So again, going back up to Thomasville, you need to be in a safe place now. Possible tornado is here, moving like that, all right? So be in a safe place if you are in Tallahassee Springs or Glover or Thomasville in northern Clark County. And again, just watching this carefully, we now have a tornado on the ground back in Mississippi. Tornado on the ground, it's doing damage, and we know this because of a debris signature in George County. So we now have a tornado on the ground doing damage. We were afraid this might happen, and here we are. Tornado on the ground approaching Loosedale at this point. This is coming right into Loosedale. If you know someone at Loosedale, Mississippi, call them now. Tornado on the ground, coming in now. This is serious stuff. Please take it seriously. Coming right into Loosedale. So we don't say that to scare you, but we're just being honest in that we now have a tornado on the ground confirmed, and it's coming into Loosedale. Watching this situation very carefully. Let's go back up to our storm in Washington County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to come into Jackson, damaging straight line winds possible over the next little bit. But the main concern in Clark County is this storm coming into Thomasville right now. And again, current time is 11:20 p.m. You've got about 5 minutes in Thomasville, blessed with lead time. This is a tornado warning in northern Clark County, and so blessed with lead time. Please take it seriously and get sheltered. Put a helmet on your kids. Put a helmet on yourself and make it happen if you are in northern Clark County. Luke, have you seen any reports over the last few moments? Yeah, and we're just checking the comments here to see if we have any more reports of damage here. Yeah, that thing in Mississippi, that is a nasty looking storm that has apparently produced a tornado just to the west of Loosedale. So it can't be stressed enough, Loosedale, Mississippi, you need to be in a safe place now. There's no doubt about it. Possible tornado coming into Thomasville over the next little bit in northern Clark County. Let's see if, make sure our radar data is up to date. I believe it is. We'll probably be getting a new scan shortly here. It should be noted that we now have a severe thunderstorm warning for basically all of Clark County. So damaging straight line winds possible in Grove Hill and Jackson shortly. All right, and really across all of Clark County. Also, it should be mentioned that we got Gosport and areas here out near Purdue Hill in Monroe County involved in this new severe thunderstorm warning. But again, the reason we are here, this is a tornado warning for northern Clark County, and this is a situation where we need you to take action to protect yourself if you are in Thomasville. I realize it's inconvenient to get the kids sheltered, but you got to do it now if you're in Thomasville. Luke, go to LD3, please. And that's kind of the view of western Clark County. While I restart this specific system to make sure I've got the latest radar data. I know that what you're looking at on the screen is the latest from NWS Mobile. Always want to make sure that we are on top of things here. And yes, so go back over to LD1, please, sir. And possible tornado is at Opine. Possible tornado is here, coming into Thomasville. So if you know someone at Thomasville, Alabama, call them, wake them up, as we have a possible tornado coming in over the next 5 minutes. While we watch that, we don't want to forget about our storm coming into northern Mobile County as well. Possible tornado in Greene County is going to cross the line and come into Alabama very shortly near Earlville. That's in Mobile County. We're also watching a storm in Loosedale. We're tracking 3 possible tornadoes. Possible tornado coming into Loosedale, Mississippi. So that's something to be aware of as well. Hey, by the way, while we're zoomed out here, we're going to get a new tornado watch. A new tornado watch is going to be issued for all these other counties that haven't been included in the tornado watch previously. You're about to go under a new tornado watch, and that's probably going to be valid until 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. The good news is storms are really moving quickly, and fingers crossed that we'll be able to get out of here maybe 3 or 4 in the morning, and hey, that's better than 5 o'clock in the morning, I guess. So watching these storms very carefully, coming into West Alabama now. But again, a new tornado watch is coming soon for the remaining counties to the east of the ones that were already included. So that's coming soon We also could get some more tornado warnings over the next little bit from this line of storms that continues to work its way into southwest Alabama. Tracking these storms very carefully. The good news is the storms right now in Washington County specifically don't really appear to be amounting to much in terms of, an imminent tornado threat. And I'll be honest, this is certainly not the best tornado signature I've ever seen in Clark County, but it's there. There's no doubt there is rotation that looks just like that. There's the possible tornado, and it's coming just like that. I mean, that thing is making a beeline for Thomasville. And, we don't say that to frighten anyone. That's not why I'm here. But I am here to empower you to do the right thing and take action to protect yourself, right? So possible tornado in the next 5 minutes coming into Thomasville. We're getting a new severe thunderstorm warning. A new severe thunderstorm warning is coming on the board. And let's see. All right, that's going to be for this part of the line coming into McIntosh and also Tensall and also Mount Vernon. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning for you. Damaging straight line winds are the concern with this line of storms. Pretty much everyone is probably going to get a severe thunderstorm warning tonight. It's not a guarantee, but it's quite likely, as these storms are producing widespread damaging winds back in Mississippi. Luke, have you noticed any comments over the last few moments? I am trying to scan through here and see exactly what we've got. Also watching our feed from the national, what's that? No, okay. Yeah, and by the way, it's so helpful, even if you think that it's not. Wherever you are, if you're in these thunderstorms, let us know what's happening in your location. That is always immensely helpful. We also always appreciate when folks tell us where you're watching from. That's always so helpful for us to be able to know exactly where you're watching our coverage. So certainly do that tonight. Before the night's over, we certainly would appreciate that. Possible tornado is about 3 minutes out from our friends in Thomasville. And so I have family in Thomasville, and I've alerted them that they need to be sheltered. They are at this point. And I would encourage you to do the same. Make it happen for folks in Thomasville. Possible tornado is coming out 154, and it's going to come right into town. And I can't be so specific right now. In other words, I can't give you, a street name or a landmark because the circulation is just it's broad. But there could be a tornado down with this. Brief spin-up tornado not out of the question coming into Thomasville. I should mention as well, this does go all the way down to Fulton. So Scotch Lumber Company, I'm not sure what the name of it is now. Somebody in the comments can tell me. But y'all know what I'm talking about if you're in that area. Where Scotch was, that area is involved in the tornado warning. Thomasville Industrial Park, that area is involved. Where that it's been there a while now, the Phillips 66 gas station, that area is involved in the tornado warning. They're on the south side of Thomasville, all the way up to Walmart on the north side of town. No matter where you are, if you're in Thomasville, you need to be sheltered. All right, so watching this thing in northern Clark County, and while we do that, we don't want to forget about our storms back in Mississippi, but quite frankly, these still are in Mississippi. And got about 10 more minutes or so until these become a problem for Alabama. So when they do become a problem, it's going to be a deal down here near this triple point of Washington, Mobile, and Greene County, right there in northwestern Mobile County. Earlville is really the only community in Mobile County included in a tornado warning. However, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for all of Mobile County, and that means you may get damaging winds in the next hour. But again, you've got a little bit of time. So that's why we're focusing on this thing up at Thomasville. And by the way, this is going to come across into Wilcox County and potentially be a problem for areas out near Coy. This is going to be down there south of Pine Hill out towards Lower Peachtree and also Coy. So those are going to be the communities next in line if this holds its strength. But we got to get this thing through Thomasville first. And hopefully it's not producing a tornado right now. But with a signature like what we're seeing, it could be. And again, you're looking at northern Clark County in Alabama. This is West Alabama. The good news is, once this line of storms comes through your location, you will get an all clear. In fact, we can go ahead and do that, Luke, with some of these communities here. If you are in Milry, Alabama, the tornado threat has ended at Milry. If you are in Choctaw County, Alabama, we'll give you an all clear. Why? Because the line is now to your east. And so it's 11:30, and if you would have told me, 6 hours ago that I'd be able to give the first all clear at 11:30, I probably would have called you crazy. But that's the good news. These storms are really kicking out pretty quick, and hopefully by 3 or 4 in the morning we will be completely done. But we're certainly not done right now. Possible tornado in northern Clark County, very near Tallahassee Springs. Coming into Midway and Thomasville, they've updated the polygon. Here we go. And look, this thing is tightened up. There it is. Possible tornado is here. So this is right at Tallahassee Springs, and I really don't like the look of this because this is going to come right into Thomasville, all right, just like that. This is US Highway 43. This is Alabama Highway 154 right here. If you live anywhere near those two roads, within 10 miles of those roads in Thomasville, you better take action as we have a possible tornado coming in from the west. I tell you what, this area has a history of these tornadoes. I can remember when I was a kid, I would go to Thomasville to see family, and there were, just a ton of tornado warnings in this same area. So again, we're talking, that thing is really ramped up. So this is a tornado warning for northern Clark that is ramping up right as it comes into Thomasville. And I hope and pray that this thing isn't on the ground, but if it is, it very well could be doing quite a bit of damage here in northern Clark County. Let me look at this because we want to see if we're able to see any debris being lofted. Right now, I don't see that, but keep in mind the radar is far away from northern Clark County, and so there's a good chance we would never even see the debris as the radar beam is hitting this very high in the atmosphere at that point. So again, Thomasville, last call, Thomasville, be in a safe place, all right? Can't be stressed enough. Anywhere in the city limits of Thomasville, Alabama, from WJDB, which is the radio station down there on the hill just north of the new hospital, or what was the new hospital. That hospital, I think, is since now closed, unfortunately. All the way down to the Phillips 66 gas station in the industrial park, Fulton as well. I realize that the polygon has been clipped out of Fulton, but just know from Fulton up to Thomasville, you're involved in this tornado warning, valid until, I believe this is on the board until midnight. So not a new tornado warning, but a tornado warning until midnight for Thomasville. And that is our call to action at this point. We'll go back down the line. It's not that we're ignoring you down in Mobile County, but again, this has, all right, we got a new tornado warning. New tornado warning for Mobile County. So let's focus on this because this is about to cross the line at this point and come into western Mobile County. So if you're in Wilmer, you need to be in a tornado-safe place as we have a possible tornado coming in from the west. This is going to come down US Highway 98 and basically parallel 98 right into the northern part of the Mobile Metro. So a new tornado warning for northern Mobile County, and really this is back in Mississippi now. There it is, right there. And this is coming straight for Sims and Wilmer. So it can't be stressed enough. Wilmer, Sims, Tanner Williams, areas out here near Orchard and the campus of the University of South Alabama. Those areas need to be implementing their tornado safety plan right now as we have a possible tornado back in Mississippi in George County pushing in from the west. So again, that's got about 2 or 3 minutes until it comes into Mobile County. So again, call to action. Wilmer, Tanner Williams, Sims, be in a safe place. Let me look at this. What is this? Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, when you get that back, let me know. Again, we're tracking a possible tornado here in Mobile County. Again, you got about 2 or 3 minutes until this gets into Wilmer. If you know someone at Wilmer, Alabama, please help me and call them, text them, tag them in the comments below and let them know, hey, you've got a tornado warning in Wilmer, also in Sims. We also have a separate tornado warning up here in the northern part of Mobile County. And really that has, let's look at this, actually right there, that is a fairly distinct circulation coming towards the lake in they call it Citronelle Lake on the western side. There's that new tornado watch. We'll get to that. So we got a new tornado watch coming for all the other counties, but again, several tornado warnings. So let's go back up to our storm here in Thomasville, and this is right here, out here just to the west of Thomasville. Luke, if you will, hand me that third mouse, please, right there to that third machine. Yeah, that one. Thanks. Perfect. Thanks. Because I want to move the... Go over to LD3 for a second while I... yeah, there you go. So you're looking at northern Clark County and Thomasville. What I want to do is see if I can... excuse me. All right, yeah, take me back over to LD1, please, sir. And again, new tornado watch has just come on the board. Let's see if our, yeah, there they are. So I'll talk you through this real quick. All right, the new tornado watch includes everybody. All right, everybody across South Alabama and Northwest Florida, you are now under an active tornado watch. And I believe that is in effect until 5 a.m., no, 7 a.m. So the Storm Prediction Center, they have added a new tornado watch for all of the counties to the east of this line of thunderstorms. And that includes everybody. So Pensacola, Navarre, Destin, also Andalusia. You're now under a tornado watch until 7 o'clock in the morning. They'll cancel it as the line of storms comes through. That's going to happen. So it really won't last until 7 o'clock for our local area, but nonetheless, tornado watch for everyone until 7 o'clock. All right, let's go back up to our storm at Thomasville, because that's the one that's in Alabama right now. This is coming on top of Thomasville basically now, and I'm putting up some of the roads on the screen here. County Road 48, and this is Tallahassee Springs Road right here. You've also got areas near County Road 9. Of course, this is Alabama Highway 154, US Highway 43, Old Highway 5, all right? That's on the eastern side of Thomasville. You need to be sheltered. You've also got areas out here near the community of rural. All right? You're involved in this active tornado warning for northern Clark County. And so we're watching this very carefully as this is going to be, yeah, I mean, that thing is wrapped up. I hope and pray that is not producing a tornado, because if it is, it could be right on top of Thomasville now. So again, hopefully if you're in Thomasville, you are in a tornado safe place. What does that mean? It means lowest floor of a site-built structure, away from windows and away from doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. There's no need to panic. There's no reason to, have a panic attack. We get tornadoes all the time in Alabama and Northwest Florida, but we do want you to protect yourself. And the way you do that is putting on a helmet, something to protect your head. Best possible thing you can do. Go back over to LD3, please, sir. And again, I want to thank Luke McKinnish for being here tonight. He's doing an exceptional job. Second day on the job, I think, for you, because we haven't had much severe weather lately, but we're glad you're here, Luke. Again, tracking a possible tornado in West Alabama right now, and this is at Thomasville at this point. So we're going to know in a matter of moments, and if you'll really watch those comments, we're going to know in a matter of moments that this thing is actually producing a tornado. But again, northern Clark County, this is at Thomasville. The good news is the circulation is clearly going to pass to the north. Take me back over to LV1, please. Circulation is clearly going to pass to the north of the Thomasville Industrial Park and the southern part of Thomasville. Out here towards the Phillips 66 gas station, down towards Fulton, you are fine in that part of the polygon. The issues are up here right at Thomasville and maybe on the north side of town, out towards the Walmart and the David's Catfish, right there where 5 comes into 43 at Thomasville. And so that circulation really wrapped up before it got into this zone of the radar where it's kind of on the edge of the better coverage. But nonetheless, all that nerd talk, if you're in Thomasville, you be sheltered, all right? Same thing at Round Hill and Atkinson. I suspect we probably will be getting a new tornado warning shortly for Wilcox County. So just know that's probably coming. Pine Hill and Yellow Bluff, putting you on notice. There very well could be a tornado warning coming due to this thing moving just like that, basically coming up Alabama Highway 10 toward Camden in the next little bit. All right, let's go back down the line. Severe thunderstorms are coming into Grove Hill and Fulton, Toddtown, Jackson, Leroy, Wagerville, Sunflower, Hawthorne, also McIntosh and Calvert. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. And what that means, we could have damaging wind gusts that could knock down some trees over the next little bit. Let's go back into our tornado warning. This is northern Mobile County. And yeah, that could be a tornado. There actually could be 2, one here and one here. So 2 tornadoes possibly coming for Citronelle. And I suspect we probably will get a new tornado warning that looks something like this. Now, I'm not the Weather Service, and they do a wonderful job issuing tornado warnings, and we don't want to get ahead of them, but I suspect we're about to get a new one for that area that I've got it highlighted, Citronelle, Mount Vernon, Calvert. You may go under a tornado warning. In fact, we're getting something in. Yeah, that's going to be a new tornado warning. So this is a new tornado warning for northern Mobile County. It's that same area that I just highlighted. The Weather Service has decided to go ahead and issue a new warning. We'll wait for that to pop up, and while we do, I want to go back to Wilmer. If you're in Wilmer, Alabama, or Moffattville, right there at the state line, you need to be sheltered, as there could be a possible tornado here, perhaps 2 circulations moving like that, and that could be ultimately a problem for Sims as well. This whole line of storms is moving to the east, and so you need to be in your tornado safe place now at Sims. Make it happen if you're at Sims, Wilmer, or Moffattville. The tornado warning does not go down to downtown Mobile. This goes to I-65, all right? This does include the campus of the University of South Alabama, so you need to take your tornado warning precautions if you're at South Alabama. It looks like the core circulation will pass to the north of there, but still be in a safe place. All right, there's your new tornado warning, northern Mobile County. This includes Citronelle, Mount Vernon, Gulf Crest, Chinchula. Also areas out here near Georgetown and Calvert are involved in this new warning, and that's going to be on the board until 12:30. So a new tornado warning until 12:30 a.m. for all of northern Mobile County. Current time, 11:42 p.m. And just checking to see what we're seeing off camera here. The tornado warning in northern Clark has been canceled. All right, so good news. The tornado warning in northern Clark has been canceled. The Weather Service, in their assessment, they believe that this storm has weakened to the point, and we can give a tornado all clear to Thomasville, Fulton, Springfield, anywhere in northern Clark County. The threat has ended. Yes, the weather is horrible, and it's probably going to be horrible for a bit longer, but the imminent tornado threat, they believe, has weakened, and that's why they've decided to go ahead and cancel the tornado warning for northern Clark. So let's spend our time down here in Mobile County, because yes, you've got a line of storms coming through Clark and Washington, but the issues are here in Mobile County. And I tell you what, the northern half of Mobile County needs to be implementing tornado precautions. as we have a line, a very robust line, I might add, that could be producing, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 tornadoes. It's like it looks like an oval there, but just checking off, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 tornadoes, and they're all moving just like that. These are going to be brief tornadoes. They probably won't last long, but where they do happen, they could cause extensive damage. So this is a tornado warning for Mobile County until 12:30. Again, for folks at Mobile proper, here's the city of Mobile, you are fine right now. All right, you're fine. But just to your west, on the other side of 65, you got a possible tornado crossing the state line coming into Moffattville. That thing is very notable on radar, I'll just say that. Could have a tornado right about here, moving just like that. So Moffattville and Wilmer, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan. This could be damaging wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour coming into Mobile County, and that's getting stronger, not weaker. So these storms are definitely strengthening in Mobile County. And again, we're encouraging everyone in the northern half of Mobile County to be in a safe place as we have a tornado warning for a very large area. All right, so current time is 11:45 p.m. Let's kind of do a reset here. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, joined alongside Luke McKinnish. We are tracking not one, but 2 tornado warnings in northern Mobile County. The one that was in effect for Clark County near Thomasville has been canceled. All right, so that's good news. And Luke, have you had any reports from Thomasville? I have not. Thankfully, hopefully there was not a tornado up there. We've got 4 possible tornadoes across Mobile County, and really southern Washington County as well, out on Highway 45 near Dwight. There could be a tornado. So I'm getting kind of specific here. Possible tornado near Dwight, moving like that. Citronelle, be in a safe place. We'll go down the line and work this, getting a little bit further south here. See if we can, there we go. Another possible tornado coming into Gulf Crest. So be in a safe place there. That's on 45 south of Citronelle. Another possible tornado, Moffattville, Wilmer, be in a safe place. Damaging wind gusts going to happen regardless of if there's a tornado or not in those areas. I'm putting you on notice. If you're at the Mobile Metro, you probably will get a tornado warning in about 20 or 30 minutes. So just know there could be more in the way of tornado warnings coming your way for the Mobile Metro. You're not under a tornado warning now if you're to the east of I-65. To the west you are, out toward the campus of the University of Mobile and also Orchard, Sims, Wilmer, some of these same places that we've been calling out. We need you to be in a safe place now, as we've got this nasty line of storms coming in from the west. I want to show you a wide view across the region, and let's put this into motion. And Luke, if you'll go there, please, sir. Yeah, because I want to check a few more feeds here and check with our friends at the National Weather Service to see exactly what they are thinking. That new tornado watch goes until 7 o'clock for our remaining counties. And so, long night ahead, just getting started. Hang out with us, pop some popcorn, do what you need to do. And certainly, if you're in one of these tornado warnings here in northern Mobile County, be in a safe place. These are the only 2 tornado warnings in the entire state of Alabama. Just checking that. Yeah, these are the only 2. And this also does include a part of southern Washington County. Calvert, the ThyssenKrupp plant at Calvert needs to be implementing their tornado precaution now. And Luke, I see actually we have kind of an interesting situation. If you'll go back over to LD3, All right, so this severe thunderstorm warning, I alluded to this in our live video that we did earlier, but this is now a severe thunderstorm warning that could have considerable damage. And what I mean by that is we could have numerous trees down in this part of the line that extends from Sunflower back down to Citronelle, including much of Washington County. So again, we're encouraging everyone across southern Washington County to be sheltered. Even though there's not technically a tornado warning out at the moment for McIntosh or Malcolm or Sunflower, still, we would encourage you to be in a safe place because these are nasty, nasty thunderstorms capable of producing up to 70 or even 80 mile per hour wind gusts. So I just wanted to mention that. Let's go back over to LD1. Several possible tornadoes, too many to count at this point on the line, and it really doesn't matter because this whole line could be producing very brief tornadoes in northern Mobile County. It's 11:49 p.m. We're coming up on the midnight hour, and numerous tornadoes, small, brief tornadoes possible along this line. This is not going to be a deal where we have one big swath of tornado damage, most likely. We could have a big swath of damaging wind, but these tornadoes are going to be very short-lived, most likely, in most cases. And that's what we're seeing with the radar signature here. This is not, something that there's no telltale sign that a tornado is on the ground at this particular moment. Let me check our debris tracker, and also I want to look at our NWS chat. All right, we're getting a report of trees down in Choctaw County. So again, trees down on the northern part of the line up here in Choctaw County. So that tells me that not only did we have tree damage back in Mississippi, now we're getting the preliminary reports of trees coming down in Alabama. I suspect we will get numerous more as the night wears on. So again, be in a safe place now if you're in Mobile County and also southern Washington County, Calvert and Dwight. You need to be in a safe place now as this line of storms continues coming through. Possible tornado coming into Gulf Crest. That area of the line is a little bit more pronounced, and it's moving like that toward Gulf Crest and Highway 45 over the next few minutes. Let me check this storm. Yeah, that thing in Wilmer means business. That could be a possible tornado moving just like that, and that's going to come out towards Millertown and also Sims over the next few minutes. Let's go back here, and I want to put this in motion. Yeah, and the Weather Service is indicating they're going to let this severe thunderstorm warning up here in northern Clark go at this one right in here because that part of the line is weakening. And that's exactly what we saw with that former tornado warning storm up at Thomasville. It has collapsed, and that's what we like to see. We want it to collapse. We want it to go away. But the storms down here on the southern side of this are kind of a little bit more resilient, unfortunately, and that's not good because this is a very high population area in northern Mobile County out ahead of this line of thunderstorms. Go back over, if you will, to LD3 for a second, please, sir. Thank you. And again, you're looking at that part of the storm in Washington County that I'm also particularly concerned about because of the threat of damaging wind gusts. And so we're not only concerned about tornadoes tonight, we're also concerned about what you're looking at right now in the middle part of your screen. I realize to most of you it probably looks like a bucket of spilled paint, but to me it screams damaging wind gusts. And we're seeing that with the reports back behind this line of thunderstorms coming through. Current time 11:53 on this, it's Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday evening. We're going into Thursday, and we're tracking two possible tornadoes. Let's go back over to LD1, and I'm watching these storms with vehement intent in Mobile County because these are the ones that really mean business at this point. You know, the one that was in Choctaw County, then it was in Clark County, that was the one that kind of caught my attention earlier. It since weakened, thankfully, and has collapsed. Now, we hope the same thing happens in Mobile County, but so far I've not seen any indication that this part of the line is weakening. And so, again, northern Mobile County, Wilmer, Sims, stay in a safe place. Also Georgetown, Gulf Crest, Citronelle, the ThyssenKrupp plant. And I'll be honest, I'm the world's worst at keeping up with all these business names, and I apologize, but y'all know what I'm talking about, the AMNS ThyssenKrupp plant. If you're there, you need to be sheltered, all right? Same thing down here at Mount Vernon, Chastain, Creola. For goodness sake, don't drive on the Dolly Parton Bridge right now with these storms coming in. That's a terrible idea. I don't like to drive on that bridge on a blue sky day, but you really don't want to do it when you've got these nasty storms coming in, being up so high. That's just a bad idea. So no travel right now on Interstate 65 from Bay Minette back down to Mobile. Storms are coming in. Luke, have you seen any reports of damage over the last few minutes? I have not, and I have been watching some of these comment feeds intermittently while I can when I'm not working at radar. Yeah, and it's really going to be tough tonight to get these damage reports because it's the middle of the night. This is the worst time in the world for these storms to come through because we got folks sleeping, and I should mention as well, if you go under a tornado warning tonight, like what we have in Mobile County, specifically the northern part of the county right now, you need to call folks if you know them and wake them up. This is serious business because these storms absolutely could knock down trees and do quite a bit of damage. Again, current time is 11:55 p.m. What was that? Okay. All right. So again, tracking storms in Mobile County. And if you're at Wilmer, the good news is the threat is almost over, but I need you to stay in the safe place at Wilmer for the next, let's give it 5 more minutes at Wilmer, and you should be good. Same thing in Citronelle. Give me 5 more minutes. I realize it's raining like cats and dogs in Citronelle, but the core of the threat has clearly passed a little bit to the east, and so that is good news. And, coming up on midnight, these storms are really pushing on through. And so that's great news. Hopefully we'll get out of here by 3 or 4 in the morning, a little bit ahead of schedule. But again, for the folks in northern Mobile County, you are under the gun right now. And normally what I like to do is be able to kind of hone in on specific areas, but I can't do that because this is a whole line of storms. And so that's why I'm keeping the map a bit further out tonight. Georgetown, you need to be in a safe place. Chinchula, Celeste, this part of the storm right here, making a path just like that, that is a zone that could have tornado damage. Just looking at this, there's kind of a notch right about here, and that could be a potentially developing tornado in northern Mobile County. Again, Mobile Metro, you are okay right now, unless you're to the west of Interstate 65 and north of the campus of the University of Alabama, or excuse me, South Alabama, I should say. You are under this tornado warning, but it looks like the core of this may pass a bit to the north of Highway 98. So watching this very carefully here in northern Mobile County. Let's go back up to Washington County and Clark as well. Weather Service is considering just letting this one expire, and I agree with that because these storms are weakening up here, and so that's good news. Not to say they're not strong. They're strong, they're loud, they're proud, but they're probably falling below severe limits up here around Thomasville, and so that certainly is a good thing. No doubt, this is the part of the line down here in the southern part that means business. So again, northern Mobile County, tornado warning for you. Current time coming up on midnight, 11:57 p.m. And because of that, let me kind of take a brief break. If you'll go to audio only for a second, there you go. I want to see if we have any other damage reports coming in. And it's so helpful. Tag folks in the comments. If they're included in a tornado warning, we need you to tag them. That is always immensely helpful in getting the word out. Getting several reports of power outages. Hey, if your power's out, let us know, and let us know where you are. That is always helpful as well. Luke, have you seen anything over the last few moments? I don't. I see a few reports of power outages over in West Alabama, but I haven't seen any damage reports other than that one in Choctaw County. Yeah, and that's going to be in central Clark. So yeah, there's a power outage in central Clark County right now, probably due to these storms, very near Zimco. Power outage reported near Zimco, apparently. And if you see any others, pass those along. We're watching those comments. Thanks to everyone who's sending in the reports. We appreciate you more than you know. It is coming up on midnight, so I tell you what, let me do a few housekeeping things here. And I tell you what, while I do that, let me show you the entire region, because again, we're just getting started. This is going to be a long night, and we're about probably a quarter of the way done. And coming up on midnight in about 30 seconds here, and again, tracking 2 possible tornadoes for northern Mobile County. It is now 1 a.m. in the east. It's 10 p.m. out west, midnight on the dot here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we're tracking 2 possible tornadoes in Mobile County. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and I'm joined tonight by Luke McInnish. Thanks for being here, Luke. Possible tornadoes coming into the core of the Mobile Metro in the next 30 minutes or so. We have a new tornado warning to tell you about, a new tornado warning, and this one, that's a tornado. There's very little doubt in my mind that that is a tornado. So we have a tornado now at Tanner Williams. Tornado now at Tanner Williams. And this is going to be a new tornado warning for Mobile County. So it can't be stressed enough. We know there's a tornado at Tanner Williams. We see it. There's a very, very strong signature on radar of a brief tornado. It's not going to last long. This is not going to be, one that's down very long. But nonetheless, that's a tornado. And it's moving to the east just like that. So on that trajectory, this is going to be a problem for areas near and just north of the Mobile Regional Airport. Can't be stressed enough. At Mobile Regional Airport, you need to be, if you live within, say, 2 miles of there, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan immediately, as we have a possible tornado at Tanner Williams coming in from the west. All right, tell you what, let's zoom out and show you the rest of Mobile County, because we've got 3, count them, 3 tornado warnings in place now for northern Mobile County. And Luke, if you will, I want you to go over briefly to LD3. There we go. And let's click on this new tornado warning to see the expiration time. I believe, it's 12:15, so it's a quick one. Quick tornado warning for Tanner Williams, and there's just no doubt that there's a tornado there. That is as classic as it gets in terms of a squall line brief tornado at Tanner Williams in the western part of the of Mobile County. This is going to come right down. I mean, right down Tanner Williams Road, right toward the Mobile Regional Airport. Snow Road as well. Also Kelly Road. Also areas near County Road 25 and Howells Ferry Road out there north of the airport, just north of Mobile Regional. Be in a safe place if you know where that is. Possible tornado now at Tanner Williams, moving off to the east. All right, Luke, let's go back over in just a moment to, there you go, LD1. And that possible tornado now is right at Tanner Williams. I mean, that thing very likely was down and is moving just like that, like a train on a track down Tanner Williams Road, right toward the Mobile Airport. And so we encourage you to put a helmet on in these communities near Tanner Williams. And also, if you're just north of the Seven Hills neighborhood. Seven Hills proper, I guess you could say. It's a neighborhood out here. Technically not included, but I mean, it's close. It's real close. As a course of least regret, I would go ahead and implement that tornado safety plan if I was at Seven Hills. Again, I know it says that on the map and it's outside of the polygon, but it's so close. I mean, we're talking less than a mile north of that neighborhood. And so I would be in a safe place now if I were in Seven Hills. Let's go back up to our storm at Sims, coming into Sims from Wilmer. That one could be producing a tornado here. These are very, very brief spin-up tornadoes, and it is so hard to warn for them. You may see the Weather Service transition to more of a severe thunderstorm warning approach as these go into Baldwin County, potentially. But they may choose to issue a tornado warning for parts of Baldwin. We'll have to see. But these storms mean business. Here's some good news. A lot of not so good news with these tornado warnings, but here's some good news. Storms in Clark County have weakened. I mean, they have really weakened. And quite frankly, they're pretty far below severe limits at this point. So yes, you could get 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. It's possible, I guess. But these storms just have really lost their luster, and that's good news. I mean, they're general thunderstorms at this point in Clark County. So that's great news for Jackson, Grove Hill, Watley, Cyrene, Suggsville. Who else is up there? You've got Alma, Choctaw Bluff. Who else? You've also got Fulton, Sand Flat, Walker Springs. Who else is there? Grove Hill, Orange Hill, Allen, Watley, Gosport, all those areas that I just called out, you're okay. So yes, it's going to get loud, there's going to be thunder and that sort of thing, but you're okay right now. So those storms coming into Monroe County, it's good news for you as well. Technically, you've got a warning down here in the southern part of the county, but Monroeville especially, you're in good shape. Same thing at Beatrice, same thing at Scratch Ankle, the community that always seems to get called out during severe weather coverage. We love Scratch Ankle, Alabama. They're in Monroe County. So good news for Clark and Monroe, bad news for Mobile County. And I suspect with a look like this, the Weather Service will be forced to issue a tornado warning for parts of Baldwin County. So just know if you're at Stockton or Bay Minette, you may get a tornado warning in the next 10 to 20 minutes, putting you on notice, possible tornado warning coming for Baldwin County. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. Let's go back to our storm down here at Tanner Williams, and that thing is appears to be pretty much gone. Yeah, it's flamed out. That's what happens with these squall line tornadoes. They're, here and then they're not. And it's good news. We like to see the tornadoes go away, of course, but it is so challenging for the Weather Service to issue tornado warnings on nights like tonight. And quite frankly, when you have supercell storms, it's a little bit easier to warn for, even though the hazard is more pronounced. This is different. This is a squall line, and we got now a tornado on the ground. Let me interrupt myself. Tornado on the ground at Sims. So this is a bit of breaking news. This is going to be right in through here. Tell you what, Luke, if you will go to there, I want to pull this up on the iPad view. Yeah, and I can't see it right now. It's I think it's in the radar data that the Weather Service is seeing, but it hasn't thrown out to the world yet, and that's all too common because, again, we're just a tough situation with this squall line. But look, here's the deal. Here's the tornado right in through here, and if we can get our data to load there we go. If you're at Lott, if you're at Millertown or Sims, there is a tornado on the ground now near you. And I don't want to be so specific about where this thing is because this squall line can drop a tornado very, very quickly. And so it can't be stressed enough. Sims, Lott, Millertown, downwind of this, the campus of the University of Mobile, be sheltered. All right, so the campus of the University of Mobile, be sheltered now as we have a confirmed tornado right now. And again, practicing what I preach, it is so important that we text our folks who are involved in these tornado warnings, especially when we've got a situation with a tornado on the ground. and that's what we've got right now at Sims. And by the time we're seeing the new radar data, it may have lifted. Again, these are very quick-hitting tornadoes. They're down, and then they're not. They go away. And hopefully it's lifted at this point, but I can't guarantee that. And so with that said, we want everyone on the campus, specifically of the University of Mobile, to be in a safe place. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about, a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for parts of Monroe, Escambia, Alabama, Baldwin, and Clark counties. So a new severe thunderstorm warning coming on the board. All right, now I was just conversing with the Weather Service there. This is going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning with a considerable threat of damage coming into northern Baldwin County. And for the first time tonight, we now have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Baldwin County. It's the far northern part of the county, out towards Stockton and Tensas, and also areas near Atmore in western Escambia County, also Porch. You are now involved in this new severe thunderstorm warning that is valid until 1 a.m. If there's any bit of good news with all this, these storms are racing, I mean racing off to the east. And so we should be out of here by 3 o'clock at the latest. And so watching a severe thunderstorm cross the Tombigbee River now, and also we're watching these tornado warnings down in Mobile County. In fact, let's kind of work the line. It is tough to ascertain what the Weather Service was warning for here in terms of the tornado warning. That's a good sign. So I suspect with the northern part of the storm near Mount Vernon and Bucks specifically, we may get an extension of this as a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of northern Baldwin County near Bay Minette. So a severe thunderstorm warning likely coming for northern Baldwin County. All right, let's continue working our line, going back to the storm at Tanner Williams. That thing has just collapsed, and that's good news. Yes, the weather is bad. It's terrible. Very heavy rain. And there's that new severe thunderstorm warning that I alluded to. It's coming out now. We'll come to that in just a second. But again, we're watching this tornado warning till 12:15 a.m., 4 more minutes on this, for areas near the Mobile Regional Airport. All right, so the possible tornado, if there's one down, I don't think it is at this point, would be here. It's weaker. Yes, there could be some gusty winds in here, but quite frankly, the tornado threat has likely come to a close at Tanner Williams. Let's go back to our storm near Sims, because that's the one that produced, let's see, this is going to be a new tornado warning. All right, so this is a new warning, and it's going to be for this storm that's currently near Sims. All right, this is coming out toward the campus of the University of Mobile, and this is really going to be a dangerous storm, I'm afraid, for the campus of the University of Mobile. If you know someone on that campus, you need to go ahead and wake them up. You need to call them and let them know that we now have an active tornado warning for that specific area. And so for folks that would be on the campus of the University of Mobile need to be taking shelter now if you are on the campus of the University of Mobile. So again, just getting that across to our folks as well, northern Mobile County under a tornado warning. I realize I was repeating myself like 3 times in a row, but the reason I was doing that is I made a phone call to let some folks I care about know about that tornado warning. Saraland, Satsuma. All right, we got. So what they're doing, the Weather Service is going to blanket all of the Mobile Metro under a tornado warning. So again, all of Mobile is now under an active tornado warning. So let me go ahead and send that out. Because this is a major escalation at this point. And again, for all of Mobile County, all of the Mobile Metro, I apologize, an active tornado warning has been issued, and I can't fault the Weather Service for doing this because this is coming into a very highly populated part of the world. It's actually our most populated part of the world here in Mobile County. All of the Mobile Metro is now under a tornado warning. It's not because of one storm, it's because of several tornadic circulations. And this is in effect for all of the Mobile Metro, no matter where you are, it doesn't matter. From downtown back up to Mobile Regional, Airport Boulevard, Spring Hill, Pritchard, Navco, doesn't matter. You need to be implementing your tornado safety plan now, as we could have several brief tornadoes coming in from the northwest. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning. A lot going on tonight. New severe thunderstorm warning for a big chunk of Baldwin County, Bay Minette, Stapleton, Fairhope, Daphne, Robertsdale, Loxley. You are under an active severe thunderstorm warning, and that is on the board until, I believe, 1 a.m. And the Weather Service has flagged that with a considerable damage threat. So what that means is we're talking 70 or 80 mile per hour wind gusts being possible across pretty much all of Baldwin County. So if you're in Baldwin County, now is the time to make sure your car is under the carport. Make sure that anything that's perhaps on the front porch that might blow away, you need to bring that inside. You've got, say, 10 or 15 minutes in Daphne, Spanish Fort, also areas near Fairhope. But just know you have a line of storms coming in that could produce quite a bit of damage. But again, the reason we are here is this tornado warning coming into the Mobile Metro. Possible tornado now, here's one of them. There's a lot, and when I say a lot, maybe 4 or 5 brief tornadoes. One could be here, right at the Mobile Regional Airport. I mean, these things are going away and coming back, and that's the nature of the beast, per se, when we have a squall line coming through. And so, again, doesn't matter where you are. If you're in range of my voice and you're in the Mobile Metro, you have to implement your tornado warning precautions now, right now, don't wait. In fact, Luke, if you will, go back over to the graphics, please, because for folks in Mobile, make it happen now. Put a helmet on and put a helmet on your kids. That's very important to go ahead and do. Best possible thing on this list, put on a tornado helmet. You want to be on the lowest floor of a well-built structure, away from windows and away from doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. All right, back over to LD1, please, because we're watching this storm in Mobile County, exclusively in Mobile County at this point in terms of the tornado warning. Technically, you still got a part of Washington that's included, but quite frankly, that's behind the line, and so I'm less concerned about that part of the storm as I am what's happening down here right at Mobile. I mean, coming into the metro as we speak. The good news is I'm not seeing as much of a signature here up 43 toward Creola, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter if I'm not seeing a signature. The bottom line is you need to be sheltered because this is an active tornado warning coming into the city of Mobile. I tell you what, NWS Mobile, the folks who issue our warnings, may need to shelter. And yeah, that's some breaking news. NWS Tallahassee has just taken over our warning process because our good folks at NWS Mobile are taking shelter. And I'll show you why. This is where the Mobile Regional Airport is here. The office that issues the warnings is right about here, and there was a possible tornado about 2 minutes ago just to their west. And so they're having to take shelter, and NWS Tallahassee has now taken over. They have a wonderful backup plan. You're not going to be interrupted in terms of the warnings. We're going to get the warnings and give them out to you, but just know at the moment they're coming from Tallahassee instead of Mobile. So they're practicing what they preach. And again, for folks in the Mobile Metro, that just goes to show if the Weather Service is taking shelter, you should be too. And again, we're watching this situation in Mobile County. Possible tornadoes extend from up here near Calvert and also areas near Mount Vernon, all the way back down 43 and 65 out to Orchard and the campus of the University of Mobile down to Seven Hills. All of those areas are involved in an active tornado warning as we speak. And so the campus of the University of South Alabama, if you have a kid or a student, I should say, on that campus, you need to call them and wake them up now and let them know they need to get to the lowest floor of their building immediately until this thing passes. We don't say that to scare anyone, but we do want everyone to be in a safe place whenever we have these tornado warnings. So a lot has changed over the last number of minutes. It's 12:19 a.m. We have now entered Thursday. It's the 12th of March, 2026. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, joined alongside Luke McKinnish. We appreciate you being here tonight, Luke. He's doing a great job with all the what you see on the screen. And we're here because of this. It's tornado warnings in Mobile County coming into the Mobile Metro. Anytime we have tornado warnings, there's no reason to panic. We know what to do. Now you just have to do it. And odds are, if you do it, if you do the things we tell you, you're going to be just fine. So again, get to a safe place now, lowest floor of a well-built structure, away from windows and away from doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world all across the Mobile Metro. Doesn't matter where you are, if you have a Mobile, Alabama mailing address, you get sheltered. All of the major hospitals in the area and also the nursing facilities should be implementing their tornado safety plan as we have these brief spin-up tornadoes coming in from the west on this main line of thunderstorms. This thing really ramped up in a hurry back in Mississippi. I'll show you that on radar. And we're approaching the halfway mark. We're definitely over a quarter of the way done with this. We're approaching the halfway mark of the night, and I suspect by 3 or 4 in the morning we should be out of here, and the tornadoes will be done for the night. Best case scenario is this part of the line that currently is producing warnings gets over here in northwest Florida and south central Alabama, and it weakens a bit. That kind of is the expectation to a degree, but there are some variables in here that could potentially cause storms to ramp back up. And so just got to take it play by play, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to be with you every step of the way, as always. Anytime there's a tornado warning, we go live and stay live until the threat is over for any of our 12 counties. I've been really fortunate in the last 10 years. We have never missed a tornado warning, and we're certainly not going to try to do that tonight. Again, tracking 2 tornado warnings, the first of which is this northern part of the storm in Mobile County. Quite frankly, it's a bit weaker. So yes, you need to keep the tornado precautions in Chastain and also Creola and Calvert, but quite frankly, the signature has broadened out. So that's good news. I'm more concerned about this part of the line that's coming into the Mobile Metro at this point. And Luke, really be watching those comments, because as these storms come across this highly populated area, I suspect we're going to get an uptick in the overall reports coming in from across the region. Thank you to everyone who has sent in reports. And by the way, if you know somebody in the Mobile Metro, please tag them in the Facebook comments below and on YouTube as well to let them know that we have an active tornado warning now for all of the Mobile Metro. Very important that we help get the word out, because you know I can talk about tornadoes for 2 days if I had to. I don't want to, but you are a vital part of our warning process. Be the hero. You absolutely could save someone's life tonight just by sending them this urgent weather information. So please tag folks in the comments, text them, call them, do whatever you have to do to wake them up and get them sheltered until this thing passes. And it's not going to last very long. We're talking maybe 20 more minutes across this area before it's in Baldwin County. And speaking of Baldwin County, you're now under a severe thunderstorm warning for all of the Eastern Shore, also Loxley, areas near Bay Minette. You're involved in this severe thunderstorm warning as well. I need to check a few things off camera here. Interestingly, the Weather Service in Mobile is maintaining their tornado shelter, still getting warning support from NWS Tallahassee. They're the backup office who issues tornado warnings for our area when NWS Mobile has to take shelter, I should say. All right, there we go. And NWS Mobile is now back on the desk, and so they are now issuing the warnings again. Got a little tense there for NWS Mobile. They had to take shelter as that brief tornado that was out towards Seven Hills moved their way. But again, now the threat has passed. And Luke, if you will, please, sir, go back over to LD3. And the current time is 12:24 a.m. and we're watching these cells in Mobile County. If I go silent, y'all know the drill. Just bear with me as we are looking at several things. I don't see any tornado debris signatures there on that high-res product, thankfully. Back over to LD1, and storms are now coming through at the western part of the Mobile Metro. Current time 12:24 in the morning, and storms continue to move off rapidly. I mean, really rapidly, 50 miles an hour in some cases, to the east. It's not that we're ignoring you up here in Monroe County, but storms are in Clark and about to cross the Alabama River to come into Homewood and Frisco City. That's Homewood in Monroe County. There actually is a community out here named Homewood that goes on the road up to Purdue Hill. There it is. And so storms coming into Homewood and Ilisca, Alabama over the next few minutes. Those storms could produce damaging wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour as these storms come in. Looking at a few other things here. Again, thanks to everyone who's sent in reports. And again, I'm just watching to see if we have any damage reports. Weather Service saying we got a weak circulation at Chrysler. That may prompt a tornado warning for Monroe County in just a bit. So that's, in fact, let's kind of look at this thing. Yeah, it's weak, but it's there. That could be a developing tornado, and if it is, it would move like that toward Uri. So just know if you're in Uri, you may get a tornado warning soon for parts of southern Monroe County. So we're watching that very carefully. While we look at that, let's go down the line because the core of the storm is coming into Mobile. Pritchard, 8 Mile, the core of the storm is at the campus of the University of Mobile, or will be there very shortly. And I am hearing from former Red Zone Weather executive producer Matthew Morgan. He is on the campus of the University of Mobile, which is right there just to the southwest of Saraland in Mobile County. And he's telling me that the wind and the rain is just horrible, horrible. And I believe it. Getting another report from Stephen Thomas. Hearing from a lot of good folks that I know personally down in this area. Thanks to all of you for reaching out. And again, the core of the storm is coming into Mobile now. This is about to be, actually it's at the campus of the University of South Alabama now. Probably going to have some gusty winds that may knock down a few trees over the next few moments. In parts of central Mobile County. Let's show you a wide view across the region. Here's some good news. The Weather Service is going to probably let this northern tornado warning polygon go if trends continue, and I suspect they will. The storm is just weaker there, and that's good news. Yes, there's a lot of lightning in that area at southern Clark County, very near Tensas and Baldwin County, but quite frankly, the tornado risk overall with that part of the storm is a bit weaker. We'll go back to our tornado warnings. These down here in Mobile County. So I want to zoom in And tell you what, Luke, I want to have a quick look at another source here. Yeah, so what's happening here, it looks like the storms are kind of slowing down a bit. That's not what we want to see. But right in this zone, as this thing comes into Mobile, it's the worst possible place for it to do it. But storms are slowing down a bit, and that's generally not good news because we want to get storms out of here pretty quick. But again, the call to action remains the same. I don't want to get distracted. We have an ongoing tornado warning due to the potential for brief spin-up tornadoes in parts of Mobile County. And so anywhere in the Mobile metro, we need you to stay sheltered. I realize it's not good to hear that storms are slowing down. That's not what we want to see, but we need you to stay sheltered for the next probably 20 minutes or so. I see I've got a new message from the Weather Service. Let me see what that's about. Yeah, and they're indicating that they're seeing a surge in the line just south of Tensas in northern Baldwin County. That's actually what you're looking at on the screen right here. So if that holds, that potentially could be an area of enhanced, damaging straight line winds coming into Porch over the next few minutes. And so if you know someone at Porch in western Escambia County, I would probably go ahead and call them and wake them up. They need to be getting ready to potentially implement a safety plan. This is probably not going to be a tornado warning if this continues. This would be more of a damaging wind threat. But this is going to come out towards Lottie and Rabun over the next few minutes. Those are tiny communities north of Perdido. I'll zoom in and show you that. There's Lottie, there's Rabun, there's Redtown, and Boonville. So if you live near those communities, we need you to be in a safe place. Damaging wind gusts that could knock down trees. That's the main concern with this part of the storm coming in from the west. Let's go back to our storm in Mobile County because that is why we are here. This is an active tornado warning, and quite frankly, the signature there is not, go back to LD3, I don't know why that thing keeps popping up and annoying me, that window. But again, we could have potentially a brief spin-up tornado somewhere in this box. But quite frankly, there's nothing just standing out glaringly on the radar right now. And that's good news. That's what we want to see. We want these storms to remain brief and weak and go away just as quickly as they develop, if they have to develop at all. And again, there's just nothing that stands out on radar, but because the Weather Service is, go back to LD1 please, sir. Because the Weather Service is maintaining this tornado warning for all of the Mobile Metro, we encourage you to keep those helmets on and be in that safe place for the next 10 to 15 minutes. I realize it's inconvenient. It's very inconvenient, especially if you have kids. I know getting the kids in the closet or the bathroom, it's tough. Getting the dog in there, it's tough. But you got to do it. You got to take it safe and play the course of least regret in a situation like this. And that thing at Tensas is really starting to bow out. You can see it right there, and it's coming straight for Rabun and Lottie. So again, no tornado warning for that part of the storm right now, but as a course of least regret, I would go ahead and get sheltered just in case the thing continues ramping up. It's going to produce gusty winds regardless, potentially damaging winds. But there are some signs in here that there could be upwards of 70 or 80 mile per hour gusts looking at this. So we encourage you to be in a safe place. Take it safe. In an environment like this with the parameters, what we're seeing, just play it safe, all right? So let's go back to our the northern part of this storm up in Monroe County. This is just a squall line, and when I say just a squall line, gusty winds are going to be the main concern coming into Homewood, coming into Uri, coming into Chrysler, Eliska over the next few minutes. Northern Monroe is going to be fine. This is not severe. So Monroeville, you're in good shape. Same thing at Thomasville. We'll give you an all clear at Thomasville. You're done with severe weather for the night. In fact, let's pause for a minute and do that. That's very important that we actually do that. And it's been so busy with so many warnings that I've kind of gotten distracted. But all right, if I call you out, you get an all clear, you can go to bed. You're done. Thomasville, Grove Hill, Jackson, Coffeyville, Chatham, Milry, Citronelle. You're done. All clear. Go to bed. Don't worry about weather. The risk is out ahead of this main line of thunderstorms. And so, again, if you're behind the line, you're in good shape. Washington County, Alabama. Washington County, Alabama. All clear. All right. You're done with severe weather across the entirety of Washington County, Alabama. It won't be long until we can do it for Clark, but we can't do it just yet because these storms are coming through Gosport and Watley down to Gainestown. Gainestown's a great little community out there. They're building a big solar facility out there at Gainestown. One of our producers was working on that project, is how I know about that. But again, Gainestown really under the gun from damaging straight line winds right now. Tensaw as well. That thing, tell you what, that's mighty suspicious on radar. That could be potentially developing tornado, but it's not very clear cut. We're gonna have to watch that thing coming into Lottie. But again, as a course of least regret, I've already said this, I would be in a safe place. If I'm at Lottie or Rabun, downstream, maybe even Porch in about 10 minutes. So we gotta watch that one. That could produce a tornado. But the only active tornado warning that we've got as of 12:34 a.m. is for the Mobile Metro, and quite frankly, I can't discern what the Weather Service is warning for at this point, but the philosophy that they're using, they're blanketing the Mobile Metro because of these brief hitting tornadoes is what they're doing. So again, respect the warning and be in a safe place if you're in Mobile, but just know I don't see a very strong signature. What I do see a strong signature of is gusty winds, perhaps up to 70 miles per hour. And so with that said, you want to be away from windows, no doubt about it. Baldwin County, storms coming in. Watching this thing way up here at Tensaw. And again, this is the part of the storm that will reach Porch and Huxford in the next little bit. The Weather Service continues to call this a considerable damage threat coming into Atmore and Porch. So we encourage you to be inside near those communities. Considerable damage threat, damaging straight line winds, Baldwin County. I think we may be getting to the point that the Weather Service may consider pulling that tornado warning based on the signature. There's no doubt that this storm is producing damaging straight line winds, but that's what a severe thunderstorm warning is for. We'll have to see if they hold the tornado warning, but you know, they may be a little apprehensive to do that considering it's in a highly populated part of the world right now, which I understand, that makes sense. But nonetheless, we want you to be sheltered across the Mobile Metro for the next few minutes. And see, just like that, that could be another developing tornado right here. So let's go ahead and zoom into that because, again, this box kind of encompasses that area. That's just an area that we're watching coming into Navco. That could be a brief tornado. It's kind of questionable at this point. But you're in the tornado warning at Navco, and you need to be doing something about it. You should have done something about it 20 minutes ago. But if you're just now catching this at the intersection of Interstate 65 and Interstate 10, we encourage you very strongly to go ahead and be in a safe place now near Navco. So again, Navco, we're calling you to be in a safe place. Gusty winds likely regardless of what happens. Whether there's a tornado or not, you're going to have gusty winds over the next few moments in Navco. And again, if I go silent, just bear with me. We're watching 4,000 different feeds here in the weather studio. Current time is, what time is it? 12:38 a.m. 12:38 a.m. on a Thursday in March. And classic, we have tornado warnings in parts of South Alabama right now, specifically in Mobile County. Quite frankly, with the signature, I don't think that this is going to be extended unless we see a spin up into Baldwin County. So yes, you're going to have some damaging winds, but the tornado threat appears to be coming to an end in Mobile County. There's just not a good signature there that I can point to and say, hey, there's a tornado. A lot of times we're able to do that, but I just can't do it right now because there's not anything looking at me on the radar, which is good news. That's what we like to see. Let me kind of work the line and see what we're looking at. I don't see anything too concerning anywhere else. So maybe things are starting to trend down a bit. That certainly would be a blessing if we could get out of this with no more tornado warnings, but we're going to keep it here as long as we've got one in place, and this is an active tornado warning for central Mobile County on the board until I think 1 a.m., but we'll see if the Weather Service decides to continue that. Let me check with our friends at the Weather Service and see what they're thinking. Yeah, all right, we just got some good news. When I look down to check the NWS chat, they're probably going to let this tornado warning go, as I suspected, just because there's nothing there. But that doesn't mean that it won't re-strengthen. We could have more tornado warnings later, but there's not evidence of a tornado in Mobile County. They're waiting a frame or two more of radar data to get it in to make that decision, and that's a great call on their part. But it looks like things are trending down, and that's what we like to see in a situation like this. Baldwin County, let's talk about Baldwin County, because you're next in line to see all of this currently coming through Mobile County. And you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Gusty winds possible. We're talking 70-mile-per-hour gusts that could knock down some trees in Baldwin County. A severe thunderstorm warning continues for Bay Minette, Stapleton, Daphne, Bromley, Fairhope, Spanish Fort, Robertsdale, Silver Hill, also areas near Magnolia Springs and Foley. You're involved in this severe thunderstorm warning, and that one goes until 1 a.m. So Baldwin County, let's talk about western Escambia, Alabama, Atmore, Huxford, McCullough, and Porch. Damaging wind gusts possible due to this severe storm moving in from the west. Same thing in southern Monroe County. Severe thunderstorm warning for you. And that's in effect, I believe, until 1 a.m. So we'll see what the Weather Service decides to do up here. And yeah, they're noting, here we go. For the first time in a while, we're about to get no tornado warnings. So this is about to be gone. So at this point, we can give you a tornado all clear in Mobile County. So again, the tornado warning is being canceled and it's going away. And you'll see that reflected on your screen shortly. And there it is, there's the cancellation. So at this point, 12:41 a.m., look at this. We have no active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. It got a little intense there for a little bit. And there were several warnings that happened back in West Alabama. We now have an active tornado watch in progress for areas to the east, Northwest Florida, also South Central Alabama. Tornado watch, meaning a tornado warning could happen in the hours ahead, but none right now. So everybody take a deep breath, because at this point it's good news. We have no active tornado warnings as of 12:42 a.m. Now, I want to work the line one more time. And Luke, have you seen any damage reports over the last number of minutes? I have not either. I have been a little bit inundated with so many messages from folks that I'm not sure in my inbox if I have damage reports. I very well could. My inbox gets just crazy full in these severe weather events, and if I don't reply immediately, I apologize, but we kind of have to do tornado warning coverage when they happen. And so at this point, we have no active tornado warnings as of 12:43, but severe thunderstorm warning for Uri, Frisco City, McGargle, Goodway, Excel, basically southern Monroeville, down there at David's Catfish House in the airport. From there, south to Frisco City, severe thunderstorm warning for you. I'll tell you, this is interesting. We have a wonderful sponsor that we love very much, South Alabama Kubota, is right there at Monroeville, and this polygon basically goes from South Alabama Kubota, Daniel Sawyer. Go see him for all your Kubota needs. He's got just a wonderful facility there. From that facility back down to the county line with Escambia County, all of that part of Monroe County is involved in a severe thunderstorm warning. And that means that we could have damaging straight line winds coming into McGargle and Goodway along with Uri over the next few moments. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Huxford, McCullough, Porch. You've also got Sardine, Atmore, Robinsonville, Freemanville, Boonville. You've also got areas out near the prisons involved in a severe thunderstorm warning. Baldwin County, let's zoom out a little bit. Lottie, Rabun, gusty winds possible. Same thing coming into the eastern shore. And of course at the Mobile Metro, the worst of the weather happening now. But because we don't have any active tornado warnings, we're going to go back to covering storms in the Red Zone Weather app. I'm going to rest my voice for a bit, and I promise, if we have more tornado warnings in Northwest Florida or Baldwin County, anywhere out ahead of the line, of course, we'll come back on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to bring you the very latest. I do think that things are beginning to trend down a bit, just kind of looking at this overall. That's mighty suspicious. Before we get out of here, let me check on that. I don't want to end the coverage. That is an interesting feature at Lottie. Not saying there's a tornado, but just want to make sure. I need to do kind of an analysis real quick. Yeah, and you know, I think that there definitely is a little bit of rotation in the atmosphere, potentially right in through here, but it's weak. It's very weak, and quite frankly, probably is not producing a tornado. But nonetheless, when we see a signature like that, it always gives me a little bit of pause to be able to cover that before the warning. But yeah, I don't think that's necessarily imminently going to produce a tornado, but that's something we're watching right there at Lottie and Redtown. We'll watch it over the next few minutes. Let me check the line down here in Mobile. There's a burst of wind coming into Theodore and Tillman's Corner. That's straight line winds that probably are around 50 miles an hour. The part of the storm coming into Navco, really at Navco right now, it's under severe limits. Also, this part of the line, basically paralleling Interstate 10, could be producing 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. Go back over to LD3, please. Yeah, and you're looking at Northwest Mobile County. All of that area was previously under a tornado warning about 10 minutes ago, but we can now give an all clear. Best part of my job is being able to give all clear statements, and we can do that to the following communities: Tanner Williams, Chinchula, Gulf Crest, Calvert, Mount Vernon, Citronelle. We'll give you a total all clear for the night. Go to bed in peace. Don't worry about weather. It's over in those areas. Back over to LD1, please. And we'll show you this line of storms, because if you're behind the line, you get an all clear. In fact, we can go ahead and do that now for Jackson, Thomasville, Watley. And you know what? We can go ahead and do it for all of Clark County. Go back over to LD1, please. And all of Clark County will give you an all clear for the night. You're done. D-O-N-E with tornadoes in Clark County. The line has now passed you, and you can go to bed in peace. All of Clark County, look at what happens. It crossed Clark, it produced a couple of tornado warnings, and now it's out of there. So all clear for Clark County, all clear for Washington County. And it won't be long, probably 20 more minutes, until we will be able to do it for Mobile County as well. But we certainly can't yet, as the line of storms is still in southern Mobile County. So give it about 20 more minutes in Mobile County. We'll be able to give the entirety of Mobile County an all clear. Now, next in line with this line of storms, Monroeville, Mexie. Let's zoom in there. We got a lot of folks at Mexie who regularly watch our coverage, and I really appreciate that. This is going to be a nasty line of storms. Quite loud, quite proud, gusty winds possible. Same thing up here in the northern part of the county. These storms are below severe limits, and so there's no warning out for Monroeville, Peterman, Tunnel Springs, Beatrice, all the way up to McWilliams and areas near Hines Farm and Old Texas. Those areas are going to have gusty winds, no doubt about it. Heavy rain, lots of lightning and thunder. But just know storms are below severe limits. Same thing in Atmore. Gusty winds possible, perhaps up to 60 or maybe even 70 miles an hour. But it looks like the core of this is really going to pass to the north of Atmore in terms of the worst of it. If you're at Huxford or Porch, I certainly would be inside and away from windows. This appears to be bowing out a bit. Probably going to get a new severe thunderstorm warning for Bruton, Evergreen, Repton, Range, Wallace, Pineview shortly. So just know you're probably going to go under a severe thunderstorm warning in that part of Conecuh and also Escambia County, Alabama. Moving down the line in Baldwin County, nasty weather coming into Bay Minette. You could have gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour. Same thing at the Eastern Shore in Stapleton, Robertsdale, Summerdale, Point Clear as well. So we're going to continue to watch storms here in the Weather Center over the next few hours. And of course, if we happen to have tornado warnings, we'll come back on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to bring you the very latest. On behalf of all of us at Red Zone Group LLC, because we don't have any tornado warnings as of at 12:50 a.m., I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson saying goodbye for now. On behalf of Luke McKinnish and me, we thank you so much for watching our coverage. If we have more tornado warnings, we'll be back. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you soon. By the way, next regularly scheduled weather video happens at 7 a.m. in the morning, so I'll see you for that as well. Hope you have a good night. Hopefully, no more tornado warnings across the region.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.